Hello, and welcome back to the next episode, episode 6. We are now caught up. There used to be like a 2 or 3 week delay between episodes, like I'd post episode 4 or I'd post episode 3 and I was filming episode 5. We're now caught up. Episode 5 has just gone live. The feedback has been amazing as usual. Thank you, all of you guys who are making the time to comment and say that you like what's going on and ask questions. I'm getting recipes through from people. You're all fantastic. Thank you very much. If you're new here, welcome. It's a vlog. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go. And that's going to be particularly evident from this episode as the winter has come. Or I should say the autumn, really. But we went from baking hot 32 degree heat to, oh my god, it's freezing cold in like a couple of weeks. It really kind of hit us hard. I'm parked up just in Colchester somewhere, and as it's gotten so cold, and it's gotten bitterly cold, all the winter jumpers have come out, and God bless my ever helpful parents, mum and dad, absolute heroes. They reacted to this by saying, we'll buy you a diesel heater. Yeah, so we've now got a diesel heater to install. And I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've gone online and I've found lots of helpful pages and some blogs and things like that. So I now have a rough idea of what I'm doing. So let me show you what we've got and what I've got to work through. And then we're going to meet up with a friend of mine, Paul, who lives here in Colchester, who has access to some tools and stuff like that. And with any luck, we're going to work together and see if we can install this diesel heater at some point this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, let me show you what we've got. So included, we have a tank that's to keep the diesel in. I will be using this. In this box here, there comes 2 parts. The bits and bobs and everything that we need. There's fuel lines, there are ducting for the actual heat to go through. We have a pipe for the exhaust, which is fairly important. We're going to need that it's going to stick out the bottom of the van and take the exhaust out. And then we've got an air intake pipe, which is going to stick out the bottom of the van and go in a different direction and bring the air in. We've got some various wires, there's some clips, there's some looms, yeah, that sort of jazz, silencers, and I've got a bunch of very cheap looking clips and things like that here. I'm not really going to be using these very much, I don't think. A lot of these clips are very, very cheap, so we actually bought some more. We popped to our local hardware store and picked up a bunch more clips to do what we need to do. So we've got some better clips for that. We also have some fuel hose line for the connections and stuff. That's going to go in there. And last but not least, we actually have the diesel heater itself. This chunking unit is going to go under one of my seats, and you can see these 2 pipes. These are actually going to go out the bottom of the van, so I need to drill 2 holes, maybe 2 holes plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes. 7 holes in the bottom of the van, and then that will sit like that, and it will take air in and it will blow air out. And the idea is that we have some decent heating in the van. It does come with some nifty controls. It looks like an LED panel and a little remote. I can put my keys or hang up somewhere nice, so I'm not complaining about that. That's what we've got so far, and it's pretty comprehensive. We've got pretty much the kit I brought, thanks to my parents, seemed to be exactly what we're going to need. There's a lot to do. It's Monday today. I'm hoping to do it Wednesday and have this posted by the weekend. So pretty optimistic sort of task. I'm still missing a hole saw. Like I need like a 32 or a 35 mil saw to punch holes into the bottom of the van for that intake and outtake. I may have to go up and see Matt for that. I'm not sure if Matt's even home. He might be away working. It could be a lot of hassle. Fingers crossed he can help me out, because if not, it's like 50 quid to buy the tool. I'm like, what? So expensive. So I'm hoping Matt can help us with the tool. So the reason I'm going through all of this with you, I've had a couple of requests from people watching my videos before saying that while it's all nice seeing the van and all the wonderful works, they'd like to see, you guys apparently would like to see a bit more of what I'm actually doing, like the actual sort of day-to-day working, like step by step by step. Now the reason I haven't really done this before is I'm not incredibly sure what I'm doing. I'm kind of making it up as I go. Not going to lie to you, following online advice, getting a handsaw, making it up as I go. That's what's going on here. So I'll show you, like step by step, like what we're doing, and I'll film it as we go. But this is not a tutorial because it might not work. So bear that in mind. If it works, if it doesn't work, regardless, this episode is going up. So I really hope it works. Yeah. So let's go, shall we? First of all, what I need to do is, before Wednesday happens, I need to prep as much as I can. There is a fuel tank here that I have. You'll notice there isn't actually a fuel out pipe. That's what's rattling around inside it. So the first thing we need to do is actually drill a hole in that fuel tank, up from the bottom, not at the very bottom, but just a little bit up from the bottom. Drill a hole in it, put that little tap in it, that little pipe in it, and then, yeah, make it do all of that so that we can have the fuel line going from that to the filter, to the pump, and then onto the diesel heater itself. And basically I need to spend the next 2 days kind of prepping as much as I can, so that when I'm actually with Paul on Wednesday and we've got time to sit down together and do it, I don't need to faff around. I've got things prepared. So yeah, that's step one, sort the tank. And then after that, we'll kind of go from there and just hope I don't fuck it up too badly. Anyway, let's give this a go. I'm going to punch a hole in this and try and install this. It is a little a little noddle that's going to sit inside the tank and then bolt onto the outside. Not quite in the bottom, because apparently that's bad, and we don't want to be. I don't think we want to be sucking up any crap that gets in the tank. But if we put it like there, I think that should be okay. Any crap will be at the bottom. I don't want to put it too high up either, so I reckon just about there will probably be a winner. So it's quite a simple job, just punch a hole in this. Yeah, probably work out how to thread it through from the inside. And then yeah, we should have a tank ready. So let's give this a go. Alright, so noddle on and safely sort of secure about as much as I can reasonably tighten it. Now the guide I watched, the blog I watched online, and the reason I'm doing this by blog is because the instructions that came with this thing are nonsensical. They don't make any sense at all. They give rough guidelines and things like that. I would highly recommend, I will put a link to it in the description. The blog that I followed, this guy actually seems to know what he's doing. So that's the one, that's the advice I'm following. And what they recommend to do is to take the fuel line that comes with most of them. Didn't come with mine, I had to buy mine separately. And we're going to use it as like a bridge between, like, so we're going to sort of like pop it onto there. and then use it to attach the fuel line to it. So that'll be like the joint, and we'll use this going into and out of everything. So it's got to go from the tank to a little filter, and then from the filter to the pump, and then from the pump to the heater. Yeah, so we're going to use these as bridged gaps all the way along, and hopefully there's no leaks. We've got the little Jubilee clips that I can use to sort of tighten them down, and yeah, and we'll pop them on now and hope that they go on and lock in and don't leak and everything's good. I guess we'll see when we get there, won't we? Wish me luck. Good morning. It's the next day and we have made some progress. Now, I promise you a walkthrough, step by step. The idea is to show you sort of what we're doing and why. Now, I had a bit of a rethink and a replan because I did some Googling. And it turns out that some of the people installing this fuel line in their diesel heater are experiencing problems because this fuel line is slightly thicker. There's a lack of pressure. It doesn't completely make sense to me, but a couple of people are reporting problems, and I'm told that this is why. I'm not entirely sure that's true. However, I then looked into it, and the reason my kit didn't come with that is because it has the clips it needs in a different type of... Let me show you. So, down underneath, I don't know if I can take you guys down here, but down underneath, I've drilled that tank to the side, so that's accessible from the back doors, nice and easy. And then, the kit that I have has these clips on it to clip the fuel line in place. So that's what we're using. Ignore this bit. That's a bit where the carpet sort of came away and I needed to access the thing, so I had to tear it. So that looks rubbish, but I'm going to fix that later. So yeah, the fuel line comes into this filter and then up to the pump. This pump is actually dangling because apparently it makes a god-awful tink, like a ticking noise when it's working. And if you have it secured to the bulkhead, that ticking noise gets really friggin' loud. So apparently they recommend hanging it from cable ties, so that's what I've done. And it's kind of at the recommended angle. That pipe is then going to run along all the way there. And the heater is going to be in there. So we need to punch a hole somewhere in here. And then sort of have, it'll run the hot air. I'm going to have one little vent here, sort of blowing hot air out, and one lot of hot air going towards the back of the van, because this will eventually have a door here, or some kind of gate to stop stuff sliding out. That's going to very much be for storage. So when that's in place, I want one source of air coming into the van and one source of air going into the back. Now, one thing this has really highlighted to me as I'm doing this is I need to sort my storage out, particularly in there. So I'm going to be putting some thought. I need another battery. I'm probably, like, where the electrics are on this side, I'm probably going to put like boxes and like kind of like box it in a little bit and just put some protection in place so that if things move about back there, or if I have to put wet stuff in there, as I'm probably going to this winter, if I put wet stuff in that, I don't want it to affect the batteries and the electrics. So I'm going to kind of box them in a little bit, or at least give them some form of protection. The problem is I don't want to restrict the airflow too much. So it's kind of I'm going to seek some advice from like the electrically minded friends of mine. If that's you, reach out. I need to know the best way to store that, because I'm going to be putting wet stuff, like coats. And if I go, because I intended to go up some mountains and things like that this winter, probably next spring, do some hiking and climbing and that sort of thing. And with the wet gear, I want to be able to put it in the back to dry out. I'm going to have like rails and things like that. Hopefully, I don't know. There's vague plans. Yeah, I just want to know what the best thing to do is there. So storage definitely needs a roundabout way of saying my storage definitely needs to be sorted. That's not what we're doing today though. Today we're going to cut some holes in the floor. I've got 2 sizes of hole bit. I'm not completely sure which one I'm going to need because I've got, again, 2 options. But now I need to get under the van, do some mathematics, work out where, or like measure where the holes are actually going to come through. Because we need to make sure that when we're punching holes through the bottom of the van, because we need to work out when we're punching holes in the bottom of the van for the exhaust and the other one to go on, we need to work out where they're going to come through on the bottom and make sure that they're not going to interrupt or that there's a good, clean, clear space for them to come through. So yeah, it's time to get underneath, measure out, and then we're going to punch some holes, put some plates down, do some sealing. Oh, it's getting there. We're getting there. It's exciting. I'm excited to have some heat in here for once. This is why you have friends help you with stuff, right? Or just a second pair of eyes, just a second pair of hands. So I'm struggling because the point where underneath the van we were going to have to punch a couple of holes. There's a big mounting block in that whole area. Turns out the mounting points for the suspension are about here, like literally right there. So that wasn't going to work. So we were going to have to mount it further forward. And I'm sitting there with Paul. I met up with my mate Paul. He's in the house. I met up with Paul, and I'm turning around saying, "Oh, I'm not sure because if we mount it further back, I can't let the flumes where I want. It's not going to go here. Maybe we should mount it the other way and then have the flumes go back over the machine. Do this. All this palaver." And Paul turns around to me and says, he goes, "Why don't you just mount it here at the back?" He goes, "If you mount it at the back here, near the tank, or nearer the tank, you can have one flume going to the front where you want it, and one flume going into the back where you want it." He says, "Just do that." Obviously, it's a much better idea. So, yeah, so it's a bit windy now. So the audio might not be great, but yeah. So thanks, Paul. That's the plan. Now it's time to mark out on the floor where the plate's going to go. Mark out and start drilling some holes and hoping we don't hit anything vital. Measured 3-4 times, so I think it should be okay. Fingers crossed. Right, it's time.
Hold on.
Oh, it's nearly time. Say hello, Paul.
Hello, Paul. I need to go find the other
Chuck key?
Yeah.
We're short of chuck key, so. But it's time to drill the holes.
Holes.
It's the point of no return.
Drill hole. Hole drill.
Drill hole.
Drill hole. Go get Chucky.
Chuck. See, Paul. Look at this. Look at these beauties. Huh? Wonderful bikes. And that is a fucking great spanner. You know? That's in my hand. Paul, should we try this again? Say hello, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Paul, what's this?
This is a Chucky.
Right, what were we looking for, Paul?
A Chucky.
How long were we looking for it, Paul?
Good quarter of an hour.
Where was it?
In the box where I left it, with all the drills and the other Chucky that I didn't use.
So yeah. Anyway, now's the point of no return, Paul. We're gonna drill some holes there.
Oh, am I drilling them? Am I?
What, do you want to drill them or do you want me to drill them?
I want you to drill them. This
I'll
is
drill
your
them,
job.
All right then, I'll do it. You
go.
You can hold.
I'll gimbal.
You gimbal. I'll drill. Oh, Jesus, I'm nervous now.
Oh, look at that. You have to keep hold of the handle, don't you?
You do have to keep hold of the handle. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, was that the wrong way round?
Yeah, you were just filming your own arm.
I've done that on a slow, what's it? So it will kick if it digs.
All right.
So just be careful with it, yeah? And away you go.
Oh, that was hassle. We had a bit of an adventure. Paul and I did. So we managed to get it all done. By the way, parked up somewhere beautiful just after work. So it's been a day, in case you hadn't realised. You know, catch you up. Block the van. We managed to get it in. We didn't manage to fire it up because this idiot managed to forget to buy any diesel. Because why would you buy diesel when you're trying to do a diesel heater? That just makes no sense. So yeah, so let me show you what we managed to get done. As things just got a bit hectic, and now I've been and spent another night in the cold. I'm hopeful. Reflection of the hair. Look. I'm hopeful that now, even though things are untidy back here, I'm hopeful that now we're going to be good to run it. So, as per last time, things installed. Diesel pipe runs down under there. This is now very firmly bolted down. It's sealed in place, and the air should come out of that other end. And where all that junk that you see, all that rubbish under the seat, I need to clear out again. We're going to run a pipe, and that's going to go into the main living area there. But for now, I just want to fire this thing up and see if it works. Underneath, we have a sealed hole there, and I've used this this sort of thick heat-proof sealant all around this hole, as well as painting it and doing all of that jazz. See if I can get you a better view from here. Yeah, that's a bit better. So the fuel line comes down out of the van, obviously all sealed in, and goes back on up into the machine. The exhaust is clamped out towards the back. The air intake goes off in a different direction over there. So it's quite important to have the air intake separate from the exhaust, because otherwise it can be bad for the thing, apparently. So we've gone to great lengths to make sure that's the case. And now it's just a case of putting the diesel in, priming the pump, and then crossing the fucking fingers. This has been so much hassle. It didn't catch it. It's not too bad now. But when I was drilling the hole, the camera, the gimbal cut out, which is why I couldn't keep recording. But while I was drilling the hole, I was using Paul's sort of powerful, as he calls it, man's drill, and I went in and it bit, and the drill itself, I remember I had the handle here, the drill itself clocked me right in the jaw. I'm used to my little battery powered thing, and it's not quite that powerful. This is, when you go up to 240 volt as a drill thing, that thing, I thought it broke my jaw for a second. It's like, conk. Ah! I thought, it hasn't broken it, but no, I've got a lump there, and it feels painful, but not broken, I hope. Yeah, so it's been an adventure so far, but we managed to get it done. Yeah, exciting times. I just want to get the thing on now. Oh, I need to plumb it in. Not plumb it in. I need to wire it in as well. So we got some diesel. So let me get the diesel in the tank. Let me get the wires through and attach the battery. And then prime it. And then it's time to cross our fingers, kiddies. Let's get that done, shall we? Again there. Fuel's in. Now I've run the cable really badly because it's not permanent. The advice that we've been given is that the wire that comes with these things is a bit thin. It's okay to start during the day, but during the night when the battery voltage is a little lower, it's a bit rubbish. So I'm going to be getting some more better cable for this. But for now, for the purpose of testing it and making sure it runs properly, I've connected it all up. Pump is in. And yeah, it's just in the process of trying to prime the thing now. And hopefully we'll see if it fires up. I am now properly nervous. Like, really properly nervous. I hope it's okay. That is of concern. that is of concern. And I don't know what this thing's going to do if it gets air bubbles. I'm going to keep trying to prime it, but by and large it seems to be working. It's got diesel to the heater, so we might not be cold anymore, yay! Or I'm going to die of smoke inhalation. One of those two things are going to happen. Let's see what the reading says. The carbon monoxide alarm is reading at 0 parts per million, so that's always good. By and large, we seem to be okay. Now, I've picked a rather muddy place. Don't know if you can see that, but I'm traipsing mud all in amongst the van. And the bed's a mess. Look, that's all the stuff that was under the seat. So we've got some work to do. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be redirecting the heat to the funnel, because down here I'm going to be putting in like a vent thing, one of these. So I need to punch a hole in the thing to do that. So that's going to be the next step. Mark out and punch that. I'm just going to let that thing run for a little while and hope it's okay. I'm shattered, man. I'm really shattered. So yeah, we shall see how that goes on tonight. There's a bit of a whiff of diesel around the place because I've been pouring it in places and things like that. I hope that goes away. I could really do with that going away. Stinks of diesel. I'm looking forward, although it's beautiful outside, and it is beautiful outside, I am looking forward to just closing the doors, putting some food on, pouring myself a cup of tea, and just, yeah, being nerdy with my mates, and that's it. I think that's the goal tonight. I just want this heater done now. It's so cold. All right, check in with you tomorrow morning. We'll see how the first night goes. Yeah. Oh, success. I mean, yeah, absolute success. It was terrific, actually. I had a good night in. There was food had. I Discord called with my friends and we played some D&D, and it was just a nice nerdy night in, and I was not cold because this thing right here worked perfectly. Very happy days. And this morning when I woke up early, waking up at 5:30, I sat there and I was like, oh, it's fucking cold, and I just reached over and I fiddled around with the button, which I've put the button on the wall now, so that's there. But I found it and turned it on and sat there and I was like, oh, it works. It really works. This thing kicks out some real heat when you turn it on. It's got like a subtle setting which is meant to just be left on, and it keeps the temperature at like a set thing. But if you turn the power up, it really kicks in. This place was toasty. So happy days. Drawback is needs a bit of power. So definitely another battery, I think, this winter. There's a couple of reasons now. Can you hear it firing up? I've just turned it on. It's just starting to get its groove on. Yeah. But this winter there's a couple of reasons now to get a second battery, at least one more, maybe two more. I needed. It's really powering up. Anyway. Yeah, so that's it really. I mean, the cleaning's largely done. I've done some of it. Of organising just under the drawers, some of here and things like that. There's just so much to do. So much to do. And this vlog is a weird one because I feel like, you know, I want to keep you guys updated with what's going on and stuff like that. By and large, it's all going very well. I'm very happy with a lot of it. There's so much to do, man. Yeah. For now though, I'm just going to sit here with my hot air and spend a couple of days just kind of chilling out, or not chilling out, but warming out. Warming out? That's not a word. You know what I mean. Relaxing in a van with some heat, and then we'll look at what projects need doing next. But as promised, that's kind of every step of the way. I know I'm still a bit lousy at doing these tutorials, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm glad to see that we've finally got some heat in place and things are moving along. I'm trying to keep these things fairly regular for you, so yeah, tune in next time. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. Next episode, oh, there's actually a number of things we could do. I'll come up with something and I'll let you guys know. But in the meantime, actually, worth pointing out, I'm trying to keep my Instagram stories and things like that more regularly updated. So if you're interested, follow me on Instagram, check it out below. And yeah, who knows, you may be able to get more frequent updates. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching. See you.